Well, this is going to be a brief one. Deontay Wilder flattens Robert Helenius with one right cross. What else? You know. Um, yeah, I mean, all we really learned, we didn't really learn anything. We were reminded of just how ferociously, terrifyingly hard Deontay Wilder can hit with one punch. And Helenius was coming off two back-to-back wins over Adam Kaunaki. He has been knocked out before by Gerald Washington, which was a strange result because Washington's normally the guy you bring in if you want to knock someone out. But he come back well, Helenius. He's 38 years old. He looked like he had a bit left, though. Wilder, 36, pushing 37, is he? Nearly 37. But Wilder he needed this type of statement comeback win after the two back-to-back defeats to Fury. And let's not forget, in those three fights, he put Fury on the floor 4 times. And Fury is a big, big lump. The man's got such immense power, Wilder. And he came in a lot lighter. Those last two Fury fights, he came in, what, 229 and then a 230, so nearly 240. He was back at 214, 215. And Helenius was weighing, I don't know whether it was his heaviest ever, but it was something like 253 and a half or 253 and a quarter or something like that. And he looked like most people in there do against Wilder, like the bigger man. And Helenius was he was just walking after Wilder. He wasn't really doing anything. He wasn't jabbing, not much anyway. There was one little cameo where I think about 2 minutes in, they got up close and Helenius shoved Wilder off, pushed him onto the ropes, and he almost, a little ragdoll cameo there. He just shoved him off and Wilder went staggering backwards and into the ropes. But the mistake, as Lennox Lewis pointed out, was that you don't follow around a puncher, not unless you're doing something constructive. And all Helenius was doing was walking after Wilder without doing anything. And Wilder, he threw one very, very speculative overhand right, like he was bowling a cricket ball, as wild as ever, as wild as his name always suggests. But at the same time, he was jabbing a bit. He was jabbing to the body. He brought it up top. He was using his feet well. He looked at his optimum weight, Wilder. He didn't look heavy at all. He didn't look sluggish. The fight only lasted, 3 minutes minus 3 seconds, but he looked like he was almost enjoying himself in there, like he felt comfortable in there. And when you look back at the Fury fights, and most of the weight he put on was on his upper body. He didn't strengthen his legs at all. Maybe he couldn't. I don't know. But anyway, Helenius is walking after him, not using much imagination, not really landing any punches, one or two pouring jabs, which fell well short. And Wilder is skipping around and moving around and using the ring, and Helenius is walking after him. And there's an air of the old 1950s black and white B movies with the mummy walking after the guy that he's after. And the end came with that one sort of laser-like right cross, which Wilder was in a corner. Helenius moved in, stood absolutely square on, which is, God almighty, I mean, talk about inviting disaster. Didn't seem to know which punch he was going to throw once he was up close. He just stood square on with his fists, and a split second is all it takes. Wilder landed the right cross. It's the camera angle was from the back, so it seemed to land on the nose. I don't know whether it landed on the nose and the mouth or the jaw. It could have, Anyway, it landed slap bang with maximum force as Helenius was moving in. Helenius at 253 or whatever he is, a big old weight coming towards the fist, and down he went, flat on his back, eyes wide open, didn't know where the hell he was. And Wilder knew he'd knocked him out. Everyone knew he'd knocked. The commentator said, "Oh, Wilder's back," before the count had even begun. If there was a count, I mean, the ref might have jumped in and stopped it. But Helenius was just out. I mean, wide-eyed and out, looking up at the lights. So a statement of sorts from Wilder. He proves that he is absolutely terrifyingly dangerous. His split second is all it takes. He's got more to give. But against two, they're talking about Andy Ruiz, aren't they? Which I think would be an interesting fight. Ruiz's skill. Ruiz has got a pretty decent chin, but it doesn't matter how good your chin is. If Wilder wallops you, you're going over. But I like watching Wilder. I know he talks a lot of bollocks, you know, in his interviews, and he's kind of away with the fairies a lot of the time, but he's exciting to watch. I mean, I think Fury talks a lot of crap, but I like watching him as well. It doesn't really matter what someone says outside the ring, it's what they do in the ring. And Wilder is great fun to watch because even though we've seen his vulnerabilities and his limitations, with that power, he can always produce the knockout. You just never know. So yeah, welcome back, Wilder. What did you think of the fight, if indeed you can call it a fight? It was, like I say, 3 minutes minus 3 seconds was the end of it. If it had gone longer, would Helenius have been able to maybe work his way into the fight? I don't know. I doubt it. He didn't seem to have any imagination in there. Maybe if he'd found some sort of rhythm, but he was in against a fleet-footed version of Wilder, very much lighter and very much at his optimum weight, which is really good to see. So yeah, leave your comments below if you got any. Thanks for watching the video. Subscribe if you're new. Please subscribe if you're new. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Cheers. We'll speak again soon. Leave your comments below and bye for now.